any better, I'd think this was a computer simulation.
Ho
Oh,
ho
wait.
ho ho ho. It really is a simulation.
How's everything going with you?
Oh, I'm glad the weekend is here. Let's just put it that way. The weekend is here and all is good. Let's see, I think everyone is here.
Oh,
Joseph, are
here
you
I
on?
am.
You've been just like sneaky quiet.
No, I literally just joined right now because I opened up Skype and Skype had logged me out, and I had to remember which account it was, and then I had to change my password for that account because apparently it was unsecure because of suspicious activity, like me logging in on my phone. So yeah,
Dare you log in at
that's
multiple sources?
that's been the past 6 or 7 minutes for me. Now I'm here.
Yay! So has everybody spent any experience they've got, by the way?
I have spent all of my experience. I don't remember what the last thing I got was though.
Because that's the important thing is to burn that experience as soon as you get it. Don't hold on to that stuff.
I
Did
Kelly?
haven't
you?
got.
Normally, I note how much we get. I don't have a note as to how many we got last session.
It was a decent number.
Because we
So I'm
finished the
looking in the
thing.
chat.
Let's see. Um, I don't know. None of my skills are upgraded, and I haven't gotten a talent since I got the rapid fire archery thing a couple of sessions back.
Yeah, so I don't think I awarded you guys the 20 experience points for the end because I don't see any notes in the Facebook group either.
Oh my.
Well, I think we probably wrapped up really quick because it was really late at that point because we went
That's
over.
true.
I managed to force us to go over quite a bit. It was nice
But we did finish.
for the most part.
Yeah, I've got a lot of unused points. A lot.
So you guys did get the young noble and made a treaty with the other warriors, no less. I should probably like flip it over so you can guys see the map I'm looking at. Like, which map were you guys on? That is not the map you guys were on.
No, unless you have the things hidden and stuff.
So how much total XP does that bring us to?
That's a good question. You are full of good questions, Joseph.
Just so we can, check. Because, I know I've missed, I think, 2 sessions.
I think I've also missed 2 sessions. Adding that for the last one, I wasn't there, would make it 305 XP.
All right, but how much XP have you earned after making your character?
Give me a second because I do have that tallied up.
Because different
I have
species.
105.
So I have
Okay.
so the total XP is going to be what did I say? 305 minus 190. So
So that's 115,
115.
which is what I also have.
Somewhere
Oh.
abouts in that neighborhood.
Scott, did you add your 20 from this last session?
Oh, no,
There you go.
I did not. Okay, so I have 125.
Total XP are available.
Total.
That's-
Total
that should be
XP
total
after
XP.
after you created your character, we have earned 115 experience.
Yes.
At least Eric and I. Scott has earned 125 because he's been here for every session, I believe.
Because he's
As have you.
dedicated. Yeah.
So
'Cause
you
I
should
don't
also
have-
need 'em.
But see, that's why as a GM, I say spend it as quickly as you get it, and that way you don't have to worry about these total numbers you speak of.
Well, I mean, on the character sheet, there is a column for total XP and available XP, and I just use that to double check.
So the total XP is the 305? Because I have been updating that column.
No, I have 115 in my total XP. I don't care about the amount of XP I got for character creation. I used up as much of it as I could in character creation. I only care about what I've been awarded, so that I can back check to make sure that everything I've bought is legal.
I total up all of my XP just to make sure that I don't overspend. But I also keep track of how much XP I had at the beginning of the game, so I can subtract from it.
So getting you. Okay, I'd like my first level in coercion because I have been doing that.
You've been practicing it, so now you're actually feel comfortable bossing people around. I mean, coercing them.
So a third rank in a career skill would be 15.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Wow, that wind is still racing outside.
And so a fourth in a career skill would be 20.
Yep.
That uses all the points that I have unused then.
It's amazing how quickly they burn.
Well, no, I had a lot. I just raised charm to a rank 3, negotiation to a rank 3, and verse to rank 4.
Recently on one of my characters, I had 65
but I
points to
forgot to
burn,
add
and it
the
went
20.
fast. That you just got.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm tempted to put it into athletics just because I'm a 1 green.
Turn
And
it
then
to a
Louise-
gold and then a couple greens.
Yeah. So if it's a non-career rank 1, that's
It would
10,
be 5 plus 5. Yep.
5 or 10.
5 plus 5, so 10.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so if I rank that one up, so I've got 10 more points to spend. Let's see.
Someone has a weird beeping in the background.
Might be me. The 3D printer's running.
Ah.
Also, according to Zach, all of the things you asked for are printed, but
He never emailed me.
I know he's kind of anxious about the fact that it took him so long to get everything together and ever get back to you. So he feels
Well,
bad.
you tell him that I'm totally understand.
I know.
Just
Yeah.
tell him to tell Kelly the machine caught COVID.
I mean, technically it did, because we all did.
I mean, yeah. Things have been like crazy, and he told me you know that with the guest you know he wasn't printing as much, so I totally
He's
get it.
printing just as much, because I don't care if it goes during the night.
No, I'm not angry. I'm not. No, it's totally fine. I totally get it.
To be fair, that's exactly what Kelly would say if she was trying to lull him into a false sense of security.
That's true.
This is
Oh,
this
for
is
this
true.
mission, no. No, seriously, I totally get it. Things have been crazy.
Hey, James.
Yeah.
There is a tier 3 talent in the Genesis Talents Expanded thing called Dual Strike, which is when resolving a combined check to attack with 2 weapons in a melee combat, your character can suffer 2 strain to use this talent to hit with the secondary weapon instead of spending 2 advantage. Would you allow that to be 2 weapons in brawl combat as well? Because my Qatar is a brawl weapon.
So what does the talent call it say it's again?
When resolving a combined check to attack with 2 weapons in a melee combat.
Okay, so it's saying combat as opposed to skill. Okay.
Yeah. Your character can suffer 2 strain to use this talent to hit with the secondary weapon instead of spending 2 advantage.
Yeah, I would let you use that because it says melee combat, not melee skill.
All right.
Because it's not, it's saying just like melee light or melee heavy.
I just wanted to make sure, because
Yeah.
like my character is getting towards broken in terms of just raw combat ability.
Especially when you put the bow down.
I mean, no, it's especially bad when I have the bow because I can just upgrade the difficulty to give it linked 3.
This is what happens when you get past 4 ranks in a skill. It starts getting ridiculous.
I don't have 4 ranks in a skill.
Oh, you're not up to 4 yet?
No, that's just a talent. Once I increase my ranks in ranged, it's no longer, or sorry, it's not linked 3 right now, it's linked 2, but like that's 3 hits.
Yeah.
When I increase my skill for ranged light, it goes to ranged or to linked 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6.
It just means you shoot an arrow way high, shoot an arrow medium, and shoot an arrow straight into your target, and all 3 land about the same time.
Yep, it's like, I fire at my enemy. How much damage does it do? 14 times 6. Alright, so he's dead.
You shower the field of battle in arrows so they may fight in the shade.
I mean, like, if someone managed to pull that off where they did do a linked 5 and hit with all 6 hits,
that would be nuts.
That would be game-breakingly disgusting.
As our blueberry muffin fades into the map. And immediately Twyla gets in the wagon.
I'm riding. Do we really want to wait for my little legs to walk?
So is everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Scott?
I'm still looking to spend experience, but
Okay. Just let me know when you're ready. There was that magical combination of you can't tell if it's mute or people are just eating or what. So I figured I'd touch base and ask. After all, that 20 experience bump, that's good to be invested.
There's also another tier 3 talent called Encoded Communique. It's upgrade the difficulty of checks to decrypt the character's coded messages without the proper cipher a number of times equal to computer's skill. Could we just swap that for skullduggery skill based on the fact that it's effectively thieves can't?
Because that's pretty much just what it is,
Yeah. It's literally just talking code.
Tap to tap, tap to tap, tap, tap.
I was just watching Star Trek Discovery. I'm on season 3 finally, and it was the episode. Have you watched season 3 yet?
We've only seen season
watched
1.
season 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's the only one
Okay.
that's available free.
They've actually released it on actual CBS channel, so you can watch it without having to have the access.
I can send you a link to a website that has them. You have to click through ads a couple of times, but like, it's there. They have all of the episodes.
Now, is it, see, we're horribly lazy and we watch it on the TV. Is it one of those that can be accessed via cable box, or does it have to be done on
Ooh.
a PC?
No, I think it has to be done through PC because it's just a
Yeah.
website with streaming.
Because we do that one together.
Ah,
It's horrible having to watch something with your spouse.
Okay.
Obviously,
So-
she was muted because I heard a lot of laughter off
Yeah.
microphone.
Okay, so I'll take another point of grit because that's always good.
remember, every time you take a skill after you've already taken it, it goes up 1 tier in cost and in the location
Oh.
that it takes on the pyramid.
Yep. So depending on how many grits you would have, it would be grit rank 2, which is 10 experience, or grit rank 3, which is 15.
Okay, I didn't know about that, but this is actually my first one.
Okay. Because, yeah, otherwise I would have, like, 7 ranks of grit and 7 ranks of toughened. And there would be no stopping me.
Oh, there would be stopping you.
You're hit with 20 points of damage. All right, I can take that 4 more times.
And then I throw a river in your path, and you are doomed.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All it
Not
takes is
funny.
one good river.
Okay, I've still got lots of XP, but I can worry about it later.
Okay, so where last we left off, y'all made some good friends. I mean, mercenaries make for good friends, right?
As long as you can pay them.
Paying them is very important. So, you guys, you headed back, you've got your trophy, so to speak, and he's more than compliant with you guys. He is completely broken to the point of, yes, he will do whatever you say. He's like your secret last extra member of the party who doesn't get a cut out of any loot. So I'm assuming you guys being big damn heroes. See how he give you an option,
Hold on, I'm
boasting
checking
about
the
how
notes. I
heroic
thought,
it is.
Wait,
um,
don't we actually have to get the thingy from the mercenary?
I got the ring.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And then let's see here. Yeah, because she accepted the additional 75 silver pieces.
Hmm.
Oh, great. Okay.
Because somebody was smart and asked the right questions and used a little bit of hokey pokey magic to find out who had the ring in her pocket the whole time. Meanwhile, well, there could have been a situation where you could have had to go after orcs for no reason, other than, they were murdering bandits. So do you guys
Well,
plan on going back to the people
I
at the
remember
Oasis?
we had left them a bunch of food.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in theory, they should be fine. I mean, it all comes down to I'm just curious, as big damn heroes, if you guys went back there.
I think that ship is
How
sailed.
far out of the way are they?
It would pretty much double your travel time between here and air quote civilized area.
Based on what we know of the environment in this situation, what is their likelihood of returning to civilization?
It wasn't horribly good because, after all, it was a bunch of refugees basically after the attack.
I thought they were desert people, and they just got attacked by different.
No, they were a caravan.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just completely confused today.
No, it's okay. It's been a while. It's been a day or two since we played last. I mean, it wouldn't hurt if you guys would go back and, wagons hoe with them, Or you can just, hey, they had food and water and they know where they're going, so they should be fine. I'm just, judging your character's character by what they choose to do. So collectively as a group, what do you guys do?
Personally, I don't think that we have any actual commitment to them. And there's other people that we could help.
We don't have a commitment to them, and we did give them a lot of food. So I'm fine if we want to go straight back. However, are we heroes or are we not heroes?
Ooh, look at the bard. She done called you out.
I mean, it's not like we have alignments, because that would be, the best, way to.
So pretty much, it's like heading back.
Are they being attacked by a big bad monster?
Orcs.
Would we get fame would we get fame for our stories told by helping them home after we've already helped them?
That's a good question.
I mean, most of them were caravan people who tell stories and tales about heroes.
Okay, we're gonna rescue. We're gonna do it.
Okay, so you guys do it?
Twyla votes yes.
That's one yes. Any no's? I don't hear any no's.
If that's where our story lies, I mean.
Well, this is just me.
As far as story goes, a lot of times heroes just go through, save the day, and then disappear. They don't go back to the same people over and over again.
Yeah, you guys can totally go off into the sunset because you got to drop this guy off for the payday.
Hey, whatever's gonna get me fame and fortune, I'm down with.
But we can go back to them and just.
So Eric, Joseph, chime on in.
I don't really have feelings either way.
What say you, Eric?
Yeah, I'm for either way. Unfortunately, I wasn't here last episode, so I don't quite know what's going on. But
well, Index pops up out of the sand like C-3PO in Tatooine, and you realize the group has made friends because you hired a bunch of mercenaries.
These are the mercenaries that stole the noble's son that we were looking for, and an elf with a suspicious name.
Totally not suspicious.
Oh, please hold on. I free the elf named Seraph Corba blah 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 blah, but I dramatically failed my perception check. However, the elf's name seems to be because Muffin Man apparently is an elf.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, we had specifically said we were starting back. The note I have is we start heading back to civilization after picking up Index. So, per last session, apparently we were heading back to, but the elf's name seems to be some kind of derivative of each of the different elf tribes. So, like, Seraph had like all these names, multiple names, but they were from different tribes. Like
almost like if you weren't an elf, you wouldn't have noticed it.
But Tim did.
Because Tim can be special like that. Before Tim, took off to go scout the road ahead of you guys.
I'll be right back.
Okay, so you guys are escorting your prisoner / employees package back to civilization?
That's my note that we had.
We're going to first.
Okay, so
Okay. So you guys basically are heading back to the Oasis. Wait for somebody to sing the song for Oasis. Nope, nobody?
nope.
Okay, so you guys head back to the Oasis.
Midnight in the Oasis.
It's a pretty safe-ish path. See, of course, I start talking and then she sings it.
Of course.
Of course. Okay, so you guys basically rejoin with the folks that are out there. They're all enjoying the dates and water that you guys left behind. Because you're big damn heroes that way, and they've already started little songs about you guys. So, are you telling them, when you get there? I mean,
Pack up. We're moving out.
okay, so you basically just start a big on-foot caravan with them?
Well, they're on foot. We still have horses
Yep, and a wagon.
and a wagon.
Okay, so who's going to give me the survival roll as you guys are heading back to civilization?
I
Nope.
think, wasn't it Cork that had the second best survival?
Some might even argue with the best.
Oh, well, I won't argue because mine's shite.
Mine's 4 greens. It's not bad.
Oh. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
And one of the local guides will, of course, be more than willing to discuss routes and give you a blue dice.
Sounds good to me. Whenever you're ready.
I've got the difficulty in there.
Whew, threatening.
Well, we are in orc territory.
Ooh.
That's fair.
So thankfully, Korik knows this great shortcut. He's like,
no.
why should we go back to the Oasis and then to civilization? Let's just bisect through the distance. So we're making a shorter line instead of an L shape.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
And then you
Is there
totally,
enough water through that route?
thankfully, you guys
water.
believe yes. You believe that there's plenty of water to do this.
Okay.
Unfortunately, for either our thirsty caravan of people or Korik was doing the math for just your group on horseback, but about halfway through the supplies are running out, henceforth the 3 threats. So what all do you guys do to help stretch those supplies? Well, that's the problem. Rationing didn't help, or maybe somebody accidentally spilled, or somebody was a greedy Gus and took 3 times the water they should be drinking.
That servant that friggin' pretending to be a lord, he's on my shit list.
You mean the man called Dog, because that's how they treat him now?
Good, because he deserved it. He was mean to them. He was a jerk. He's a stupid jerk face. Okay, so is there any...
Can I either douse or try and create water?
Yeah, can we use magic to...
Do you have conjuration?
I don't. I can't conjure.
Because that definitely sounds like a conjuration thing.
Conjure water or dowsing rod, you mean?
No, dowsing rod would be like divination. Scott was suggesting just summoning water.
I didn't think conjuration was a skill. Or no, that's a
type of magic.
It's a path.
No. It's just one of the types of magic.
Yeah, like
So-
So you have
barriers
attack
and I can't-
or
Yeah, different schools of magic can't do certain things.
And I can't conjure. I can augment, I can heal, I can...
That would be more of an
Inferior.
arcane thing.
Oh, I can conjure.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you can. So yeah, I think we were all waiting for that.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Okay, so this would be a grand summons. Basically, you're summoning like tons of water, right?
Do we need tons?
Well, you have about 25 people and a couple horses. You know, it's never a good thing when the horse's, skin starts to show.
Yeah, no.
Okay. In that case, I guess we need tons.
Okay, so you're going to do a grand summons. Is there anything additional you're going to do for it? There's not really anything you need to worry about additionally to do it.
No.
So I've got your difficulty in there.
Oh.
So immediately you attempt to summon the water. You dramatically go out there and roll up your sleeves near the nearest containers that you could, hopefully the douse of rain comes and hits. And sadly, as soon as you finish your conjuration and burn your 2 strain, like a single drop of water hits you in your forehead as you look up and say, "Let it rain!"
Clouds darken in the sky, thunder rumbles, and a single droplet of water splashes you as it all fades away.
It would be very impressive.
Oh, do we
if
get our
the
wounds
planet
back?
didn't have magic.
Yes, at this point you would be full wounds and strain,
Okay.
except for the 2 strain you just spent.
Right.
People are getting restless because they're being very dramatic there, and they're expecting a lot, and then they just saw half the group didn't even see the drop of rain.
Would have been even better if it like summoned a single glass of water. And that was it.
So what are
Well,
you guys gonna do? I mean, I got to spend my 1 story point, so yes, it didn't get stolen.
Well, we can try and...
Wait. I've still got 1 advantage, right?
You've got 1 advantage.
Can the advantage be that I see it raining somewhere and we'll be able to find water there easier?
Not for just 1 advantage.
Ah.
How about, can we use survival to, like, douse? Like a dowsing,
Buddy, survival got us into this mess.
Yeah, well, this would be a different role.
I mean, you could totally see if you can find the right plants or whatnot to survive. I mean,
Maybe there's some barrel cactus we can hack open.
Yeah, because that won't make you sick at all.
Well, it'll at least, keep you alive.
It's better than drinking urine. So, does somebody want to do survival?
Hey, it worked for ElfQuest.
Drink some cactus juice. It's the quenchiest.
It'll quench you.
I mean, have you ever drank cactus juice? It's like snot.
It's also incredibly high in alkali substances, which will cause your body to dehydrate even faster.
Causes your kidneys to go out.
But if you don't have kidneys and you don't need to drink water, then you're fine.
Eric, we've been over this. You're not the priest anymore. You can't just spontaneously remove body functions.
I am
Take
a
out the
giant
kidneys and
robot.
Robot.
take out the kidneys and
Spontaneously, man.
Because you're in robot automaton doesn't mean you don't need water.
No, you need oil. You need lubricant. You need.
Yeah, you guys are filled with lubricants.
That's a.
I'm the most well-provisioned person here.
so somebody give me a coercion check.
Hold it. Coercion.
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
As the crowd is
I
getting
get 1
restless.
yellow, 2 green.
Oh no, coercion I suck at.
I've got 2 green. That's it.
I have 1 green in coercion, but I am charming.
So Bob, I'll let you be the coercive guy in the group. Go ahead and give me a coercion check.
What about leadership?
You could do leadership instead, but it looks like does anyone have leadership? Want to use that?
I have 1 rank and 3 greens in leadership.
That sounds like a better bet.
Okay, so Twyla, one of the guys that obviously is one of the old guards from the caravan, he's getting kind of mouthy about the whole, they've led us to our deaths in the desert. I
hold
should
on.
be in charge.
Okay, encumbrance 1.
Encumbrance.
I was just say because I have a talent that, that Trixie, that once per encounter during a turn, a Wonder Gnome may use this ability. Basically, I can produce previously undocumented small item, encumbrance 1 or less, with a rarity no greater than 4 from a pocket, or from anywhere like our convenient location. Even if there's no logical explanation for the item's presence, this item cannot be weapon unless the weapon has limited ammo quantity. 1. And I was like,
It's a prison purse.
no. And I was trying to think of something that might be helpful in this situation.
A glass of water.
Yeah, but a glass of water isn't going to feed everybody.
A dowsing rod.
And that's what I was thinking. But if I pull out a dowsing rod from like anywhere and give it to somebody with survival, would that give them an additional blue?
I would give them a blue for having the proper tools, and then we hope that their technique is good.
That type of thing? Okay, so, well, first I've got to calm the crowd.
I don't know how much I want to use a prison purse dowsing rod.
It's not a prison. Thanks a lot, Jim. I pull it from my bag, not my prison purse. Thank you very much. And I would appreciate not having that term used again. X-carding that right now.
I'm just getting flashbacks to Deadpool 2 and the kid coming out with stuff all the time. He was totally a gnome. We never knew that.
He was a wandering gnome. Okay, so first off, let me go ahead and roll a
Leadership?
leadership. Okay. You ready?
Yep. Wow. That'll definitely do.
Okay.
All right. So the success is you check that conversation shit real quick, which is cute since, everybody remembers the halfling came up and stabbed a guy in the back and, they're like, whoa. So for the threat, go ahead and take a point of strain because it's hot and sweaty and these people are making you have to cowboy up.
Okay.
Now, what are you going to use that big damn triumph for?
Huh?
What are you going to use that big damn triumph for?
The big damn triumph. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of what could be useful in this instance, that because to actually provide supplies, but I don't think there's anything that I can do per se. Huh?
I
What?
said supplies.
That perhaps boom, we come across a hidden oasis.
No.
Can I do that with the giant, please?
What does that have to do with your leadership skill?
She
I
led
led
us
us to
to
a
an
tiny oasis. I got them all thinking positive, man. I got the good vibrations.
Hey, I'll actually accept that you got everybody's morale up. That you're giving them a rousing leadership speech. You jump on the wagon of, we are going to make it.
But okay. But that's not gonna. Okay.
It keeps them
so
going. I mean, it keeps them from turning on you.
Keeps them going. Okay. All right, then. Can I use it to
Make it a really good dowsing rod.
I know. I was gonna say, can you
Wait,
like
wait,
give
wait,
it
wait. I've got something.
what?
Can she make it so that way everybody's not like all hogged in the water, so it like lasts longer?
I will give you that everyone starts actually working together under your leadership of the actually not hogging supplies, and that you've got a little more supplies because somebody like was hoarding water and immediately busts out with, look what this water we just found.
Okay. Then I'll take that because that will, make it a little okay. People are inspired to be more,
More sharing and
team
giving.
oriented. Okay. As for, let's see, let me go back to my talent.
In the middle of your rousing speech, you pull something out of who knows where.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see here.
Who knew that you used the inside of your
Okay.
mandolin as a holder of many objects?
Okay, I have to spend a story point in order to do it.
Yes.
Mandolin of holding.
Mandolin
Okay.
of holding.
So, and I have this magic dowsing rod that will help us find more water. We will make it, people. We will.
That just looks like a stick.
Really? Because it
Supposed to
was.
look like a stick.
What type of government is little ladies handing out sticks?
Small women standing in deserts handing out sticks.
What a wonderful world we live in.
I didn't elect her.
Nope, I just took control. So I'm gonna hand it to Cork because he has the best. And since I did a really good job, come on, 2 blue.
I'm giving you that you did a really good job, that people aren't dying or revolting on you.
Okay, but he gets at least 1 blue.
He gets 1 blue with the help of your magical dowsing rod that you had. You know, Lord knows
It's
he
really
needs
pretty.
the help.
It's carved with like little water symbols and.
She bought it
Let's
from a
hope
guy
I
for
don't
2
need it.
silver.
No, I've been whittling it. You just haven't seen it.
So I've got your difficulty set for the survival roll.
All right.
As Cork's like wandering off during the day, going, hey, dowsing rod, find me water. And obviously you can tell from the desert there is no water there with the dowsing rod. So
Well,
what would
that
you like
was-
to do for your 2
It takes
advantage?
a while to warm up.
Oh, did I forgot to tell you? You have to go to sleep with it for at least 1 night.
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
attune
that's
to it.
You gotta attune to it. Don't worry, tomorrow it'll work better.
Okay, but the people, they still trust you. They're still trucking along, on the last day of the journey. Is Cork gonna give me a survival roll?
I did.
That was
Oh,
to
another
find
one,
water.
that was
This is
the-
just the avoiding trouble and pitfalls.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I can give you one. You ready?
Yep. This is the one you really want to succeed. See,
Hey!
as you're totally like, you see a horde of scorpions and you're like, scorpions, let's not go that way. And then you look the other direction and you see a angry air elemental and you're like, air elemental, let's go the other way. And by the way, I was pointing left with the first group and right with the second group, and you went straight down the middle. Okay, so you guys are basically barely dragging your ass out of the desert. Your caravan of folks is there, you know. Thankfully, you've, I'm assuming, let the weakest of the folks get on the wagon.
Yeah.
Now, Index. Can I get either a knowledge or a survival roll out of you?
Sounds like a knowledge roll.
Pretty sure it's gonna be a knowledge roll.
Since you were the one that went and dropped off those kids at the nearest community, conveniently, you know where the nearest place to go to for water is.
Do you have the difficulty set?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You know, everybody sees grass. The horses are chewing on the grass. And all of a sudden, excuse me, Index is like, I know where the town is where I dropped off those kids. We need to go that away. And conveniently, you guys just managed to barely drag your asses into town as people are doing that scene where you see the first horse trough full of water. People are just like dousing their faces into it. You know, you can just see the horse snot floating in the water, and they don't care. Horse snot water.
Tasty.
It's good lubricant.
And
So-
if I remember my Andy Griffith Show episodes well enough, it's also great for cooling off the radiator in your junker truck.
Sure. So you pour some on
Don't
Index,
call
huh?
Index that.
Okay, so you guys pull into town. Everybody's like patting each other on the back that we survived as a group. You know, of
See,
course.
I told you we would make it.
As everyone looks and feels like crap, I'm assuming you're going to spend some coin to stay at the local tavern for the night, right?
Oh yes, I want a bath.
Oh, you want extra coin for the bath too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so your mercenary friends, of course, you know, get themselves all hydrated and, you know, grab rooms themselves. So you guys, are you keeping your ward with you, or are you letting him get his own room?
No, he's going to be staying with us. We're keeping him close by.
Okay, so who's sharing a bed with him?
He can sleep on the floor.
Harsh. This from the one who's only taking up a quarter of the bed.
Still.
So whose
That's
floor
like
is?
he killed 4 times the amount.
So whose room is he being kept in? I mean, whose room is he bunking with?
I think Index should keep an eye on him because Index doesn't need to
doesn't have
sleep.
Exactly. So I think that's a good idea. Are any of you guys hurt?
No, well, we other than just being dehydrated, we're good.
Pretty much, you're all at half strain at the moment. Except once you get a good night's sleep, you'll be fine.
Oh no, that sounds like we need to amputate.
That's the thing nowadays. Amputate for dehydration. It means you need less blood to keep yourself functioning.
Exactly. Don't need any useless ankles getting in the way of your hydration.
Okay, so what is your guys' plan for crashing? I mean, a lot of people are pretty much bunking up in some of the rooms upstairs, so they're all full up. Anyone who's got precious items are basically all ponying up to get places to sleep out of the sun? Because these people have
how
had it
big
with being
Cork,
outdoors.
how big are you?
I think he stepped away for a moment.
He did step away, but he's about 3.5 feet.
Okay, so, well then he and I can share a bed because we can each take up half the bed. Index can, you don't sleep, so you can just be there. Can we get a room with 2 beds?
Yeah, as you can see in the map there, as I'm double checking to make sure you can see the map.
I'll
Then
take
Bob-
the other bed. Index
Yeah,
can stay awake, and then the kid
and
will
he can sleep
in the
on
middle.
the floor.
So we only need one room.
Exactly.
Okay, so conveniently, of the 4 rooms down over here, or I should say the 5 rooms, because yes, the big one is still available. Which one of these rooms are you guys going for?
Let's see.
For the low price of 15 silver.
Should we go for this one because it's got a window and it's only got, a cord on the other side?
But we need a bed for you guys. We need
Yeah.
a bed for Peter. No, not Peter. Wrong game.
Muffin Man.
Bob can have one of the beds, and then Cork and I can share a bed because, we
I'm
only
a
take up
cat.
each half.
Yeah, it's like I'm a cat. I can sleep wherever.
Yeah,
Especially
see,
if
he
there's
can
like a
curl up.
stray sunbeam somewhere. Ooh.
And
We can-
technically, you 2 shorties can lay the other direction on the bed.
Exactly. We can, lay, up. Yeah. So,
But we also have the person who I don't really know too much about that we have to keep an eye on, and the elf that thinks he's a cupcake.
no, I thought the elf went off on his own.
He's scouting ahead.
He's sleeping in the bushes.
Yeah.
Scouting ahead.
Yes, that's a
AKA
euphemism.
sleeping in the bushes. Yes.
He heard there's a baker in town, and he's afraid he's going to come take him for yeast.
You'll never get my yeast, Baker.
Okay, so which room are you guys going for? Someone just pinged that they were going to stay in the stables.
I was gonna say that stables look fine.
No.
For a silver piece, you could definitely stay in the stable with the horses. It's way cheaper than 15 silver for a room.
Absolutely do that.
Are you
Super
serious?
cheap.
How much for the utility closet?
That is not available currently.
Oh no, they're always the first ones to go.
No. I think we are less likely to, we can keep a better eye on the noble's son in one of the rooms.
Let's take one of the rooms that doesn't have a window, so that way he won't sneak out it.
They all okay. So then one of these.
Yeah.
One of the ones that you can hear the loud bar patrons throwing, mugs against the wall all night long.
Just like home.
Yeah. So why don't we,
Okay. So you guys, you tuck in for the night. You have a couple last minute drinks, because, you're dehydrated. You need more alcohol. It's just the way it is. So is there any special preparations you guys are taking before you're crashing for the night? Aside from Index probably leaning against the door from the inside.
Joke's on him. The doors open outward.
It'll still make a loud clanging noise.
Yeah. Normally speaking, in stables, there's usually like a hay shelf above all of the stables. I would like to sleep in that. Like it's basically a loft.
Now, are you paying to sleep in the loft for a whole silver piece, or are you sneaking out there in the middle of the night and just taking a spot up there?
I'll pay to sleep in the loft instead of paying for a room.
Okay. So, everybody else know that, Cork's doing that?
Okay.
So I'm not making a secret of it.
Okay. So you guys all bunk down for the night. So, Korik, I have a question for you since you are in the loft. What is your perception?
Very good.
Damn.
It's 4 greens, 2 blues.
Damn.
I didn't put any levels into perception or survival because I have enough greens, and Tim is supposed to be here to make up for the lack of skill.
Okay, so everybody's sleeping peacefully. People are quite happy. Some people are passed out on the bar just because, hey, they're half exhausted and they got a drink in them and they went straight to sleep. So middle of the night, horses are doing their whinny thing. Korik he's got that kitten whisper thing going and his little sleepy sound. His cute little kitten paws are fluttering in his, slumber. Damn!
Oh my god!
And luckily, nothing really wakes Korik. As Korik sleeps through the night, the morning stable boy comes through and he starts, making noise that Korik automatically starts waking up because the kid's not being subtle. He doesn't get paid to stay up late at night. And pretty much Korik gets woken up with alarm when the boy goes, "Uh-oh," and proceeds to go running out of the stables really quick to go tell somebody something. So what do you do as you get woke up in the stables there, Korik?
I'll stretch and then I'll hop down into the stable.
Okay, so immediately you hop down, realize the kid had some problem. He was, tossing fresh hay to the horses, and you immediately do that whole kind of tiredly 1 horse, 2 horse, 3 horse, no horse.
That's a problem.
As you realize one of your horses is missing.
One of our horses is missing?
One of your horses are missing.
What?
That's suboptimal.
It's okay. It was leased.
Somebody stole our horse.
And it happens to be the nicest of the really nice horses.
Well, I don't know enough about horses to get that on my first glance.
Who's missing?
So you gonna go tell the group, or
Yeah,
Oops,
I'll
sorry.
go knock on the door.
do you want to go investigate some, or?
I'll knock on the door. If a horse is missing, that means someone's missing, and it's all of our problem.
Unless it was a sentient horse all along and is breaking out to give valuable intelligence to the horse monarchy.
That is also our problem. My statement is unchanged.
The horse collective will be coming shortly.
Like, if the horse is reporting to the collective, that's a bigger problem, in
We've
fact.
already lost.
Due to their slave inbreeding program, they have centaurs for, doorknobs. So what do you do?
Well, right now, after that statement, I'm just imagining a centaur, but wearing, like, the front half of a horse costume. And how absurd that would look.
He's undercover.
I'm gonna have to kill somebody.
So Korik knocks on the door, wakes you guys up. What do you say other than, of course, we're missing a horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody took one of our horses in the night.
Should we rouse the entire inn or wait till morning? Start
Well, it's
investigating.
Pretty
Let's
sure
go look for.
it more or less is morning if the
Yeah, it's
stable
like-
boy came in to feed the kid. Or
Yeah,
feed
it's
the
like
horses.
Okay.
five-ish,
Let's do an investigation and see if we can find it, because that is the majority of our pay just got stolen.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
let's get on it.
what do you do?
Let's check to see who's missing. We've spent enough days with all these people that we more or less know all their faces by rote.
Also, does anybody?
Well, is the little kid still there, right?
The stable kid, yeah, he basically was going to his employer
No. Our kid.
Oh yeah, where would he have gone? You guys had him pinned down in the room.
No, just making sure.
Yeah, he woke up with the rest of you guys. He's like, go do what you got to do. I'm gonna stay here and get a couple more hours sleep.
I'm gonna take it out of his hide. He's coming with us.
And he's like, what? Your friend here lost the horses.
Yeah, well, you're not staying asleep while we go hunting. You are staying with us.
And he's like, okay. You have the sense that he is horrible trouble to have to keep underfoot. But he will gladly go with you if that's the case. Especially after hearing the story that the bard is known for stabbing people in the back. Many stories were told on those cold nights when people were huddled together for warmth.
Yeah, and did they say why I did it?
Because you were angry at the guy because he didn't like you?
No,
And so
because
you
he
just
was
stabbed
pompous
the man.
jerk who was lying to everybody and making their lives miserable.
That's just every noble.
But he wasn't even a noble.
And?
He was pretending to be.
Yeah,
But it's okay, because the Bedouins have given you this name that in their language means angry mouse.
Great.
But it sounds beautiful.
Wait. She's actually a royalist, and the story gets out that she stabbed him because he was pretending to be a noble and wasn't, and it made her really upset.
Stolen nobility. Okay, so you guys are gonna like wake up the house because like most people are still
Oh, yeah.
sleeping right now.
We should probably wake up the house just because, other people might have been robbed too.
So how are y'all going about waking up this hotel full of people? I mean, this inn.
Fire.
No. Basically, climbing pots and pans, like bang them together like drums.
So you're going to the bar to get two big tankards and start smacking them together?
Yep.
Does anyone want to go like
And I'm yelling,
or tracks before other people go over there and muddy everything
well,
up?
I said investigate, but nobody wanted to go.
I'm terrible at looking at things.
You're just good at knowing things.
I know things and do precise operations, but actually seeing things not my strength.
Can I make a knowledge adventuring roll and kind of what should be done here?
You find the thief and you tar him or hang him?
Hey. You hang him by his thumbs.
So, as our fierce little bard starts banging loud things together, Twyla, give me a leadership roll. Awaken people up nicely.
You ready?
Do you have anything that removes black dice from leadership?
Hold on. I don't know. Let me check my...
As I'm totally hoping you get a roll and someone just like Kelly at a hotel being woke up by a fire alarm. Most people don't like that.
Yeah, well, they'd like it even less if they're losing their property.
Kelly, is that car alarm going off at 2 a.m. at the hotel? There's always at least one. So go ahead and give me your roll when you're ready.
Okay, I don't have anything that specifically...
I didn't think you did, but I figured I'd ask just in case.
Fuck.
Jesus.
So you're
Just tonight, the day of epic fucking fails.
banging pots and pans and saying, "Get up, get up, get up, get up." It's actually comically cute to watch. It's like a little kid marching, banging things together, and people are just like opening the door, then slamming it shut and going back to bed. They're just like, "Nope." You know, you do have one advantage though.
Blue die to investigate or whoever the Cork survival check for tracks
For
or whatever.
tracks. Okay, so as you know, Twyla's making lots of noise. You guys are going to go out and start investigating.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are the only doors a horse could fit through. You'd hate to walk a horse through the bar. So you're out here and looking around for tracks. So go ahead and give me your survival roll.
Damn!
It's
And that's
pretty
without
easy
the
to
blue
see
that I
horse
gave
tracks.
him.
You clearly see horse tracks. And by the way, take 2 strain.
Okay, but what about the blue that I was supposed to have?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There you go. I figure give you the best 2 out of 3. Okay. So you got 5 successes. You realize that clearly somebody oiled the hinges on the doors here to open these barn doors absolutely silently. And you can see with the tracks that they quietly snuck their way in and managed to put a bridle over the horse and lead it out and mounted the horse about right here. And then all of a sudden, this is where the footprints start to get confusing as you're following the footprints and you're basically talking it out of what you're seeing when you're tracking. Because all of a sudden, for some mysterious reason, at the end of the hoof marks, there's this big circle. And for a second, it takes you to focus and kind of walk around this circle. Because at first you thought it was like someone threw a bag or a sack off the horse, until you realize that the asshole rolled 4 threats and the horse bucked him off and ran for the hills, basically. And you can tell they fell off and obviously hurt themselves because they ended up, walking with a bit of a limp. And they definitely looks like they rummaged a bit through here.
Oh, great. They're going through our wagon, too.
I mean, that's on us for not setting up watch shifts.
Well, you guys were exhausted going through the desert.
And now they're going after our hills.
And they pretty much took off down the path, and basically the footprints are heading towards the main road. So you're getting the idea that whoever they were tried to steal your horse to leave town and ended up just leaving town on foot.
All right.
And
it would have been.
So the horse spooked and ran away?
Yep, the horse spooked and ran away.
What direction did the horse run?
The horse looks like it went the opposite direction, like further into town.
All right. How about Bob and I take horses and try to chase down the other horse? Twyla and Index can take the wagon and start looking for the guy with a sore ass.
You got it.
That
You
sounds
guys
good
can
to
catch up
me.
faster. And we'll
Okay,
take the noble son with us.
So we're
Sounds good.
splitting the party. I like this.
Splitting the party.
Okay, so first we have, our 2 dashing heroes riding off into town looking for the lost horse.
Just remember the last time we split the party, our captain ended up in an opium den.
Okay, so you guys heading off into town, and you're basically seeing this nice, rural town. It's got some different folks doing different, normal rural town stuff. Especially since you're doing this ride through town at 6 in the morning in full armor and gear. And give me a survival roll or a coercion roll if you're going to talk to people. Or-
Coercion. I would be doing charm, not coercion.
Well, you're not there, so I'm not asking
Oh.
you.
Oh, I thought you were talking because we're the ones. Oh yeah, we're heading out of town. You guys.
Yeah,
are
they're heading
like,
into
in
town. So you can do a coercion if someone's going to like talk to people.
I'll go ahead and do a survival.
Okay. Totally hoping somebody hits a light side point. Go ahead and make your roll when you're ready.
Jesus, those purple dice are on
Jesus
fire.
Christ.
So unfortunately, when you're doing your survival roll, you're realizing there are tracks everywhere in the city road. It's caked with like 6-week-old dust mold, you know, the mud caked up in like footprints that are hard and crackly, and it's just you can't make out a single horse from a goat's hoofprint in this town for some reason. It's probably just, you know, so much foot traffic. So as you're taking time and whoa, Bob, rolling without giving me any notice, man.
I want to know. Somebody stole my horse, and I want the town to give it back.
You don't even know if that was the difficulty of the coercion check.
So apparently Bob senses that you can't make out shit in this road. So apparently Bob is screaming out at the top of his lungs at 6 o'clock in the morning. He wants his horse back.
Oh God, we're annoying the hell out of these people at 6 a.m. We're never coming back to this town.
It's better than Twyla's pots and pans at 5:30.
Fair.
This is the most interesting that's happened to them in a while. I'm sure they're going to be talking about it for a while.
And immediately this beautiful, sweet, morning dew-faced milkmaid comes running up to Bob and says, "Was the horse you're looking for like these?" And she's pointing to your similar breed horses there.
Yes.
Did it have long, flowing white hair?
Probably.
Yes.
Was it
Sure.
unsaddled?
Mm,
Wait.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that he put the saddle on, but then tried to get on and
No,
couldn't?
he said a bridle.
bridled it.
Oh, bridle. No saddle, but it had a bridle.
Then your horse went that way. And of course, she flings her blonde hair into the wind that the morning sun hits, and she's just all aglow with honeydew color as she points up towards the really nice pasture country where you see some, you know, cows and some goats grazing, maybe the occasional sheep. I saw it go that way a few hours ago when I have to do my 4 a.m. milking.
Much obliged, ma'am.
He tips his hoodie. Okay, you guys go clomping off through town. And of course, people are telling, "None of that speeding, you kids." You know, you have to go at a slow gallop through town, or you might trample somebody. So meanwhile, Index and Twyla and your hostage are in the wagon, doing the wagon thing, looking for the hobbling man. Is that so? Does that sound about right?
Yeah. We're slowly making our way out of town.
Eric, you there?
I am.
Okay.
I
Just
also
make-
just keep forgetting to hit the voice to talk. Hit the push to talk on the microphone.
See, it's funny when Kelly does it because I can hear through the wall. When you do it, I get concerned.
My roommate here, she points it out.
Yeah. I just assume that if I don't hear Eric make a dirty joke every 5 minutes or so, he's probably muted himself and doesn't realize it.
And then it's
The
just funny.
tentacles got him.
These things happen. So you guys are heading out of town. Is somebody going to try to do a survival kind of check to see if you can tell what way the path is going or whatnot?
Um,
I mean, or are you just
What's your
assuming it's going
survival?
towards civilization?
what's your survival?
My survival is not worth mentioning.
It's probably 1 green.
It is correct.
Okay, then I will do the survival check.
It's almost
Okay.
like
I
I've played a
have-
robot before.
3 green.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
You've got story points. Just saying. They're there for a reason.
And the
Wow.
reason is to sit there and look pretty while we roll like that.
Okay, so all of a sudden Twyla's remembered every tracking story Korik has ever told her.
I am a
that-
wandering gnome. We travel.
And you come out and immediately you see the footprints that he pointed out. That look at how this left leg is kind of dragging, just a hint, you know. Obviously they hit their bum falling off the horse, and you're just like, aha,
I hope it's painful.
that tracks with what you're looking at there.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I'm the guy with the sore ass.
And you guys turn the wagon over and you head down that direction.
Yep.
Kind of sad that you're going to have to backtrack later. And as you guys are taking that there wagon, are you keeping your hostage in the back of the wagon, by the way?
Yes, assumedly.
Okay. So you see a traveler up ahead, kind of covered up with some, you know, cape and cowl. Kind of has a slight hobble on his left leg. Seems to be very familiar.
Is it the... Oh my god, it's the fucking elf, isn't it?
And you guys get to about this distance, and the traveler looks back at you guys with your horses. Now, are you like going...
Now you say this distance, but are we on the correct map?
You are not. Which is why I'm asking one last question before I flip maps of how are you driving? Are you going at a nice relaxed pace, or are
Nice,
you
relaxed
going
pace.
hell-bent for leather?
They're hell-bent
Nice,
for leather.
relaxed
Yeah,
place.
I don't think either of us are particularly good at driving, so probably at the relaxed pace.
Okay. So I just wanted to kind of make sure, because that would matter for the whole distance that you could get to.
They're traveling down the road at a cool 47 miles per hour.
Because if you guys are
Riding
hitting
the
it like...
horses behind them.
If you guys are whipping it like you guys are Wells Fargo, he would have seen you a long time ago. So
Yeah,
I just
no.
wanted to check. And immediately you guys see the traveler here kind of like looks back at you, and the cowl kind of shifts just enough that you immediately recognize that it is
It's
that elf.
Seraph.
It is.
Okay. Hi, Seraph.
Now are you yelling that? Because you're quite a distance away there.
Yeah, I'm like, what ho, Seraph?
And you see he kind of like discreetly waves at you. What's your perception?
My perception?
Or whichever one of you two has the best.
I have 3 green.
I can guarantee you that's better than mine. I have 1 yellow.
Index punches and he knows things. That's it.
Damn, did not succeed though. So you can clearly see when he looks at you and he kind of throws a hand up to wave. You notice that he's basically armed himself. He's got a scimitar, sword, something weapon-wise along those lines, and you see a little glint from his belt that he may have like a dagger or something in his belt region.
Huh.
And he just gives you this wave like, howdy ho, folks.
Does he
Howdy
stop
ho.
or does he keep going as we're approaching?
Well, he's just walking. I mean, you're going to outpace him in no time. He's just walking at a casual pace.
Does
Yeah.
Is he walking or is he limping? Oh, sorry, I'm not there.
He-
Does he-
No, we know he's kind of limping.
Does he want to ride?
Yeah,
Do you ask him?
he tried to steal it.
Well, I mean, we're kind of heading in the same direction he is.
It's that
He
traveler's
doesn't know
Is this
code.
the way we're going to be traveling?
He doesn't know why we're going in this direction, and at the leisurely rate we're going, why not ask him if he wants a ride?
And he doesn't know that we know that he tried to take the horse, failed spectacularly, and is
And
now
this is the way we have
walking.
to go anyways, right?
This is the way that you have to go drop off the cargo.
The noble son.
Yeah.
And the other guys will be joining us as soon as they get the horse that he tried to steal. I'm like, I can totally go down with some deception.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're deceiving him so much as offering him a ride. So it's
Okay.
like, did you need a ride, Sarah?
And he's like, I should be fine. And he kind of hesitates and basically asks, how far are you heading down the road?
I'm like, oh, we're going quite a ways.
And do me a favor and give me your deception-y check.
Ooh,
Dun,
deception.
dun, dun.
Okay.
See how well you can convince him to get on the wagon.
But I'm not lying.
So you're charming him then?
I mean, we do have to go this way. We do have a ways to go.
He's noticeably limping.
No, it's barely perceptible.
Mm.
He basically has walked out that cramp pretty well. Especially when he saw you guys, his cadence improved immensely. So what I'm asking, Kelly, is what skill are you using then to say, sir, please join us? We
Charm.
insist politely. Okay,
I'll
go ahead.
use charm.
Go ahead and roll your charm. As he's politely declining your offer. He's just like, no, I only have to go small distance up this direction. I wouldn't want to slow you down. You've done more than enough in rescuing myself and that poor young gentleman from the precarious position we were in before. But thank you.
There's no insight roll, right?
Well, what do you mean by insight roll?
You know, like in D&D, you can roll an insight as
No.
to
I got what you're saying,
Bullshit
baby.
detector.
yeah, a bullshit detector.
So what are you needing to roll bullshit detector on?
It's like he doesn't want to go just a short ways. Why
Yeah.
else would he steal the horse?
I feel like you don't even.
I mean, you pretty much don't need to roll anything to get the idea that he's wanting to leave, and he was not expecting anyone to come driving down this road, but he's politely declining your offer to get a ride.
Hold on a sec. Let's see here.
I mean, there's no insight you need to roll for other than you know for a fact he doesn't want to get in your wagon because he wants to be footloose and fancy free.
Let's see here. Once we're in Canada, all right.
I like how she's making super villain snickering.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Let's see here. If I once we encounter your character may use.
Is that the one that gives them negatives for social checks in your vicinity?
Exactly. Gives them 2 blacks to social checks. Like I'm like, oh no, I insist. You're obviously not 100% with that little limp you have.
And pretty much he's just like, no, thank you. You're a peach for offering me the ride, but no, thank you.
I know. I want to use the clever retort.
Well, the clever retort is used to sabotage someone's social check.
Yeah.
He's not doing any social checks. He's just saying thank you, no. The retort
And he
is
doesn't
one
have
that
terrible social anxiety, so it's not a social check.
Yeah. All right.
Basically, you were rolling against his discipline against your charm to see if maybe you could like overpower him with your charmingness, and he's definitively nope, thanks. You guys head on your way. Thank you, but no.
Well, should I just call him point blank on what he did?
Horse
It's like-
thief, we're hanging ya.
Well, I mean, like, well, you were in such a hurry to leave last night that you tried to steal our horse. You know.
You could also try to sweeten the pot and tell him that we'd be happy to take him wherever he wants to go after we stop at the bank to drop off our valuables.
You could also just keep going on past him because Bob and I are going to have to ride past him once we find the horse.
We could also run him over.
This is true.
And then have to
Make it
stop
look
and give
even
him
worse.
emergency medical attention.
Yeah, but see, I'm not a fighty person, so
Well, luckily, I'm pretty sure the wagon will decide that he isn't either.
You're not wrong there.
I mean, he's obviously more fighty. He's got, rapiers and other weapons. Don't know how. He's certainly of a criminal element, I would think.
Guy just managed to arm himself for protection, and you're freaking all out thinking he's a criminal.
He just tried to steal our horse.
Allegedly.
No. The question isn't if he's a criminal. The question is he a dangerous criminal?
Exactly.
Yeah,
And he
'cause,
rooted through our wagon.
Because being a criminal is not a bad thing, all right? Like, listen.
Okay, how about we'll just kind of slow down a little so we don't get too far ahead.
Okay, so please sort of slow the horses down to match his pace. Give me a perception check.
Oh no.
You can go ahead and give me a perception check again because, I'll still click and stuff, but there you go. So, Twyla, go ahead and roll that perception check again because, you had more purples than you should have.
I had success, and now...
And if you let me finish talking, I'll say that you can have the better of the two rolls. You're welcome. Okay, so Index is too busy piloting the horses to really notice, but Twyla, with your little one success, you see him after a few moments of you guys slowing your wagon, because obviously your wagon overtook him earlier, and now it's barely staying ahead of him. He kind of starts running parallel with the road, or perpendicular to the road. He immediately starts running off the road like he's looking for a little tree cover to go get to help disappear.
Do I see where he goes?
You have a success, yes.
So where does he go?
He's running off towards this little shrubbery area to dive for cover. You're clearly seeing him running that direction. It's wide open territory. It's just that you glance back at the perfect moment. It's not on the map, sweetie. Mind's Eye Theater. He's running off the road. Okay. What do you do?
Let's keep going.
Okay, so you just...
And then...
I'm like, I could... At this... I could leave cast a utility spell. That is just a sign that points to the way that he's going and says he went that way.
Okay. I mean,
it's not something I'd have to roll for. It's just really basic, and you and me, we aren't the best for chasing down these guys.
I know. I was to say we could go up, go a little further, park.
We
And
could
then
head them off at
circle
the
around.
pass.
As you know, your guest in the back of the wagon's going, "What's going on? What's going on? What's happening? What's happening? What's going on out there?" And you're not saying anything to him? Okay, so you're basically casting a utility spell to make some kind of indicator pointing that direction?
Yeah.
Okay. So do me a favor, and since you're going to make it last a long time for your friends to get there, and you're going to be far away from it by the time they see it, give me a quick check against 2 purple. I just want to make sure your magic has the potency to last that long.
Are you ready?
Huh? Oh, yeah, it's going to be there like 6 weeks from now.
Jesus.
Neon signs.
As it's going, girls, 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 this way.
It's not even a sign anymore. It's now like an animated magical dog. And when we come up, it's just gonna be like, "Arf, arf, arf." Well, Lassie, what is it? The thief hiding in the forest?
Okay, so how far ahead of this guy are you guys gonna go with the wagon?
Definitely far enough that he couldn't see us if we stop, but not like super fast or anything.
Okay, so you guys, go a good, half a mile ahead and find a little hilly area where you're just out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so screen swipe. Too bad we're gonna have all this action of our 2 non-combatants going after a combat guy, or so they were afraid of. So in town, you guys have gone up to the grassy knoll where you see a couple cows, a couple goats, and you see your horse just does this whole rearing up thing, feeling the call of the wild as you realize it found a couple other horses that are out to pasture. It had no problem hopping over a fence to get to some of those fillies out there.
So would it be a riding check to try and like rope it and put the saddle on and catch it?
Yeah,
Well, it already has the bridle on it and knows us.
So yeah, it would be a riding check though for you to get up to it and basically snatch the bridle and make it come to you, as opposed to running around with all the fillies.
Sure. Let me try.
He's got the
Point
filly
of
madness.
clarification, we were given mares.
Okay, so she is the filly. Okay, clarification there. Thank you. She's feeling the call of the wild. She might come back sullied. And since you've been kind, masters, I will give you a blue dice. But it is nice for a poor horse that's been trudging through the sand to actually get to frolic in the grass. So go ahead and roll when ready as you go riding off and you hop the fence that she hopped, and try to grab the bridle as she just gives you this whinny of no and goes running off in the opposite direction. It's just that she's enjoying frolicking.
She's enjoying frolicking.
Playing in the grass after being stuck in sandstorms. So what do you want to do with those advantages?
Mushroom or fruit that would be good that she'd like to eat to be able to try again.
So you're getting off the horse because you saw a patch of something that the horse would like?
Yeah.
I will totally take that for 3 advantage. With your great riding skill, you realized you failed to catch her, but you see some treat that she would like. Okay, so you're getting off your horse?
Okay, getting off my horse, getting the treat.
Okay, are you going to hand it over to Cork to see if he can try to do it?
Do you think you can try?
Have we lost Korik?
No, I'm here. Sorry.
So with the tasty treat, I will definitely give whoever tries it a free upgrade.
I'm terrible at writing.
Yeah.
Like, I got 2 greens.
Okay. Oh, so can I try again?
Okay, so Korik's standing there waiting for you to get back on your horse. And you're going to go ahead and try it again. As you see the horse mock you by rolling in the grass as you're riding forward. And it just goes playfully running away in the fun, frolicky, horsey way. Only this time you kind of wave the sweet vegetable treat out there that you found, and she immediately kind of like turns to snatch it from your hand, but as you offer it, you can easily grab the reins, and you pull her to a complete stop, taking 1 point of strain from the threat. Okay, so you guys have the horse.
Okay, so let's get back to town.
Okay.
Get the other horses and try and follow them to catch the thief, right?
Well,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to get any of the other horses, right? Because
Yeah. We already have all of them.
you have all the horses in play.
Okay, in that case, let's just start galloping off and
Okay.
and try and catch up to them because they're only in the cart. We should be able to catch up to them fairly quickly.
Okay, so both of you guys give me a riding check as you're riding off into the sunrise. And kicking up dirt behind you guys as you're double timing to catch up to them. Dun 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 dun.
Wow.
Okay, so Korik, give me your riding check.
Ha!
As Korik is riding like nobody's business, but he's taking a point of strain because he's trying not to put claws into the horse. He found out the horse does not like that. So, Bob, about halfway through town, since you're busy holding on the reins of a second horse, riding through town faster than you should be doing, at one point you get into like a mild accident with some of the folks getting ready for the early morning things. People are carrying crap across the road, and you cause kind of a kerfuffle. Now, for your 3 advantage, I will take that you don't fall off your horse. Does that sound like a good trade?
Sure.
Okay, so you managed.
The sheriff pulls me over for speeding.
As you're getting yelled at by the old man who dropped all of his wares on the ground, and there you are up on your high horse with your other horse in the reins, and Korik is looking at you like, I don't know where the brakes are, as he's riding out of town. Are you waiting for him, Korik?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I won't notice for a minute, but I'll pull ahead and then kind of stop.
Okay, so this local citizen is very angry with you, Bob. He's giving you the riot act. He's got his little cane that he's shaking in your face. What are you gonna do to chill the situation? I mean, you did almost run him over, so he is kind of understandably upset. I mean, you have a chance to de-escalate before this becomes more of a situation. But you only have 1 chance to de-escalate. What are you going to do? There's always the jerk move of just grabbing a handful of silver and throwing it at his feet. You're a jerk for doing it, but he'll bend over and pick it up.
A little charm.
Then don't charm him. Get down, help him back up, give him a couple of silver coins, tell him that, sorry, we're in a terrible hurry, we're trying to catch a horse thief, and then we go.
Alternatively, confiscate his eyes so he can't identify.
Jesus.
Well, if you take his eyes, you might as well take his hands so he can't draw a picture afterwards.
And at that point, let's just take his bones, because, like,
Bones.
yeah.
They're good for what ails you.
Okay, yeah, I'll
As
get,
he's a necromancer, that actually speaks very true.
I'll get down. I'll apologize. Tell him we're after a horse thief. Can I buy you a beer when I get back?
And he's like, oh, okay. And he kind of gives you the pat on the shoulder that, hey,
Hold
you
on,
got off the.
I don't think we're coming back.
That's
I
why
didn't
it's
say
funny.
Immediately.
Oh,
He'll be sitting at the tavern waiting for this stranger on the high horse. The stranger who came down off his high horse. And he kind of like, okay, well, I'll be expecting that after work before the sun sets tonight. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Dude's gonna become a nemesis. He's gonna hunt us for this story.
He will become the bone
you
hunter.
owe me 2 beers. 2 beers.
I ordered the beers for you and I, and you never. I'm a necromancer to bring them back to life.
Well, I tell you what, that sounds like your own problem. You put yourself in a situation where you couldn't spend your own coins. No one to blame but yourself for your wife and child starving.
So, Bob, you jumping back on your horse?
Yeah.
Hashtag just Republican talking points.
So go ahead and give me your rides as you ride out of town. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Wow.
Why am I consistently rolling better?
You know you guys got like 4 story points you can spend. I'm just saying. Okay, so you guys go riding again, and 30 feet down the line, you get stopped by immediately. There's this guy in breastplate with a sword. He's got his hand out in that classic traffic cop style, where he's just like, "Halt! Where do you think you're going this early in the morning at such a speed on horseback?
We're trying to catch a horse thief.
More likely you are a horse thief with that horse that you're dragging behind you, stranger."
I mean, the horse that has the same branding as the 2 that we're riding that are obviously fully well equipped and know us?
Yes, it's the perfect.
Okay, go ahead and give me a Cork. Give me a coercion or charm or deception. Sounded more like coercion or charm, though.
Yeah,
I like how you
let's go
just-
with charm.
Okay.
Oof.
And you say it so snarkily, probably because the horse was stolen on your watch. A little bit of resentment there. Little PTSD flashback of you sleeping soundly as the thief was taken off with the horse. And comically, just off camera, getting knocked off the horse at the end. And he just kind of, gives you this glare. And it's that glare you've seen before when people body check your furry body. And you're like, oh, you're one of those guys. What would you like to do with your 2 advantage?
I'm going to regain 2 of my strain.
Okay. And he just glares at the 2 of you.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, that's from the charm. Ooh, I don't know. Make it so he doesn't want to just attack us.
Okay. He's kind of holding his tongue and his sword.
I'm using a story port, and I'm going to use coercion. And I have had a bad morning.
Ooh.
I really didn't sleep that well because the stupid boy. Then the horses get stolen. Then I get thrown off the horse twice. and I can't even seem to ride straight today when I'm not that bad a rider. And now I've got this guy?
Could
And
just kill
he's-
him and then raise him as an undead.
Look,
Not without permission.
we're going after a horse thief. If you want to come and help us and do your duty, that's fine. If not, you can go back to this inn and see that we checked these horses in last night, and obviously there are horses because horses this good wouldn't be in this town.
Oh,
Now, are you gonna help us or are you gonna get out of the way?
So give me a charm or coercion there, and I'm gonna throw a
Oh, this is
blue on top of
coercion.
that. Okay, and you've got
And I
your
used-
upgrade in there.
And I used the story point at this point.
Yep, I got your upgrade in there.
Okay, tell me when you're ready.
Yep, go for it.
Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
As immediately, if you would like for the 2 advantage, he will jump on the empty horse next to you and ride with you for justice and victory.
I don't think we really need that. I think Bob could probably recover some strain instead.
Yeah, I'll recover some strain instead.
Okay, he'll look at you and say, "You must head out at all expedients now. I will get my horse and see if I can catch up with you."
I'll tell him what direction we're going.
Yeah, tell him what direction we're going.
Okay, and he kind of like slaps Bob's horse on the butt to get it going for him.
Does that mean I have to make another riding check?
Yes, as you're riding out of town. Come on, just spend the story points. Just
Here,
spend
I'll
them.
do the first one. There we go.
Okay, I got you
This
upgraded
time
there.
I failed.
Why are you not spending the story points?
See, it's always the first person who does the writing check that fails. That's how it works. We've discovered the pattern.
Okay, so Bob, for that advantage there, are you gonna grab Korik's bridle and pull his horse along so you've got all 3 horses under your control? Just say yes. Just
Yeah.
say yes. Okay. As you guys go riding out of town, you guys are riding down the road. You're heading back the way you guys came from originally. You clearly see the indentation of the wagon wheels ahead of you. And then all of a sudden you see something really strange. Index, what is your sign?
It's just Bill Engvall standing there doing a stand-up comedy routine.
Actually,
Here's your sign.
for Index, his sign is Gemini.
God fucking damn it.
It's John
Eric,
Travolta
that
turning
hurts
around
me
quickly.
Physically.
It's an arrow that with a line that says he went this way.
If you had started describing the Gemini sign, I was gonna scream.
Okay, so you guys are coming up. You see this arrow, and you kind of look over, and there's a small grove of trees of some kind, possibly like nut-bearing trees. You're not quite sure, but it's clearly a grove over there. Are you guys looking that direction?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
I will when you're ready.
I am ready.
Wow.
Korik looks off in the distance, and you're looking at a bunch of almond trees, and you're just like, what? It's this totally has, indexes writing all over it, but you do have a lot of advantages. What would you like to do with those advantages?
I don't know. I don't know what you do with all those advantages when your strain is full.
I mean, you realize that there's like there's a farm and a well and a windmill, maybe even. You're seeing things off in the distance with lots of clarity, but nothing that should draw your attention.
I think we just trust Index's sign because it's obviously his, and we head in that direction.
I mean, for 3 advantage, I'll give you something.
Give me something.
Okay, for three advantage out of that 5 advantage, you immediately look down and you're like looking off in the distance, like, what the hell? And then as you kind of like look down back to your horse's hooves, you realize you see the trail of that same one-legged lopping, just ever so noticeable, running off that direction. And immediately you're like, ah. But you notice the wagon wheels keep going down the road.
Mm.
So obviously your friends are okay, maybe.
Yeah. So in that case, Bob, why don't you keep going down along the road and get them and bring them back this way? I'm going to go and start tracking them through the woods.
Are you sure about that plan?
I should be fine. What's the worst that happened? I get a sword through my throat?
Vampire trees are the worst that can happen.
How do you stake them? They're already made of wood.
You have to
stake them with meat, and it's so much harder to stake something with meat.
You have to stake them with a stake.
They're like the Xena vampires. You need dead man's bones to stake them. So Cork's gonna go. And you're staying on horseback, right?
Yeah, I'm on horseback.
Wait. If I got something, could I give him something so that way I can follow it and know where he is?
You could try.
Or I can mark the trees as I go past them.
Give you a nice blue dice for tracking him. Or you can make the mark totally obvious, so that way no survival checks will be needed.
Yeah, I'd rather give him a magic rock.
This is my special worry stone.
What does it do? It worries.
Worries.
What part of worry stone didn't you get?
So, how difficult is it to create something like that?
I feel like you've done that before.
I have. Well, no, I've tried tracking something. I didn't actually, because I tried tracking the ring.
Mm-hmm. So I'll say it's going to be 3 purple, duration and range.
Okay.
I've got your difficulty in there if you want to, conveniently, you still have some of that turnip that you were feeding the horse, and this is your magic turnip.
It's my very magic turnip.
Or as the folks in the hills would call it, it's your tracking radish.
Tracking radish. Pilgrims used to use these things for miles.
I am a necromancer. I am going to give him a toe bone so that way I can follow him.
Where did you get a toe bone?
He keeps them on hand.
When have you collected toe bones?
This isn't part of this campaign, but in my D&D campaign with my friends, one of them played a necromancer, and I gave them a bag of holding, and instead of storing their equipment in it, all they do is store the toe bones of corpses that they come across. And I just find it odd that this has come up in 2 separate campaigns, one GM'd by myself and one GM'd by James.
See, the worst part is going to be like levels down the line when they ask you, how many toe bones do we have in the bag?
Enough to make a toe golem.
Okay, so go ahead and cast your spell
I'm
on
a
this.
necromancer. I just don't have random bones. I mean,
This is the first I've heard of it, but okay.
I
If
wouldn't
you
be
have
surprised if he had like a bowl of entrails sitting in something.
This is the first time it's come up in polite conversation, apparently. Yes, you have
okay.
a small bag of toe bones, not to freak anyone out. He's going to give you his magic toe bone.
Oh lord, that sounds like a euphemism.
So go ahead
Half.
and cast your spell on the tracking toe bone.
And you got the story point?
I've got it in there now. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so this spell was a very difficult one to cast because it's the first time you've made a tracking toe bone, but it's something that you've always wanted to make. So on top of the 2 strain to cast the spell, it's gonna it's gonna like suck the life force out of all your other toe bones, so they crumbled to dust. But out of this handful of toe bones, one emerges immaculately empowered with the power of tracking. And where do you tell him to keep this toe bone so it stays fresh?
In my shoe.
You are the 6-toed cat.
In your toe.
Polydactylism.
Okay, so you're giving him the tracking toe and you're heading off down the road?
Yes.
Okay. So thankfully it's only about a half mile or so. You come to a little hill that rises in the distance, and behind that hill you see the wagon parked over with Index and Twyla hanging out. What are you guys doing?
I'm describing chemical properties to her.
And I'm letting him.
And your passenger is immensely fascinated by this. He's like, I totally wanted to become an alchemist, but my father wanted me to be a merchant.
Be both.
And
Sell
that just like
potions.
blows his mind. I can be both. I'm so glad my dad sent you guys to rescue me.
Yeah, we're here to rescue you.
Yes, that was what we were sent to do.
Uh-huh.
So whoever's got the best deception, go ahead and roll deception.
I have deception.
I'll be back momentarily.
And Bob, just as she's rolling that, you come over the rise heroically on your horseback, and wow, that's some really good deception. What story is it you're feeding him, by the way?
That I'm feeding who? That
The young noble that, his dad sent you guys to rescue him.
and that his mother was so also missing him. It's basically, yeah, Dad sent sent us to rescue you, but we had to make sure you were you because of the ring, and that your mother was so heartbroken at the thought that something might have befallen you, that she, begged us to make sure that you were okay.
And he's just
That's
like beaming. He's
Mom part's true.
Yeah, I totally would have
Like-
given you a blue dice for that alone. But he's beaming at the, my dad cared enough to rescue me.
So it's very important that you stay with us and don't stray, and we'll get you home safe.
And pretty much at that exact moment, Bob bursts over the crest of the little hill. Heroic as shit on the horse. So what do you do, Bob?
Go up to the cart and see what's going on.
They're talking about alchemical stuff, and apparently Twyla's lying on, during Index's little dissertation.
When Bob approaches, as I tell him, the thief is Seraph.
Okay, so
He
we
turned
saw
off
your
the
little-
road after we offered him a ride, but he was really cagey about it.
We saw we saw your sign, and Korik started going after them. So I've got an extra horse here. Let's start trying to get back to him.
Yeah, we knew you would catch up quickly.
What's the land like? Should we
I-
take the cart or not?
You could totally take the cart. It's soft, grassy hills.
Okay, then we'll take the
Okay.
cart, but
Okay, so you guys are heading back?
Yep.
So, Korik, are you trying to be stealthy as you're creeping down that path, or are you just riding down that path at a casual pace, gonna do some survival to look for the more tracks?
Casual pace, survival to look for the tracks. I'm not too concerned about being stealthy, because obviously whoever stole the horse isn't so well armed and supplied that they could just steal the horse.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So give me a survival as you're tracking the tracks.
There we go.
Okay, so you easily are finding the tracks where whoever this was got into the tree line of this grove, and you are for sure that this is a planted grove, not just a wild one, and kind of disappeared into the grove deeper. It's not so thick of a grove that you can't ride your horse in. It's kind of got that creepy manicured grove feel where everything is nice hedgerows, where it's totally not natural, and you're just like worried that you could be ambushed at any moment as you're looking down at the ground at these tracks. As you stop and you go chop chop on a tree to leave a little mark.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm still doing that. I don't trust the toe bone enough.
Magic toe bone, yay! Wait a minute, did that toe bone just wiggle? Okay, so are you gonna go deeper into the grove?
Yeah. And like I'm tempted to leave my horse, but also it's a horse thief. So like
Afraid he's gonna double back and get a win at the end.
it's a bad idea either way. But I'm gonna go with the one that doesn't involve the person I'm tracking getting away on a horse that can run faster than I can.
What if you remove your horse's legs?
Index.
In your head, you
Those
can
horses were
practically
part of the payment.
you can hear Index saying, "But we can sell the leg bones and just ride the wiggly tendrils." So go ahead and give me a perception check real quick, just in case. As you're looking around and you're just like, I'm feeling really awkward. Things are bad. I don't like this. But all of a sudden, you do
Finally, all
realize
those red dice you threw at us paid off.
all of a sudden you kind of like, you look, you saw where the tracks kind of stopped, and you see a bunch of ladders against the trees, like maybe some pickers were doing their job the morning before. And just as you sort of look up and you hear this rustling of a tree branch, and you kind of look up at that tree branch and realize, shit, he's got the high ground. And you know what happens when they have the high ground.
Yeah.
And as soon as you look up, the horse kind of makes this whinny sound as immediately he's going to use his lightning draw to pull a weapon out. Oh, pull a pair of weapons out. And, oh, damn, that's a cool talent. If you guys ever want to make a cool rogue, there's a talent called Vanish that lets you use 2 advantages to disappear.
He's going to need to get 2 advantages.
And for his despair, he's gonna dive out of the tree at you with his weapons.
Hmm.
Actually, no, he's not diving out of the tree. He's just throwing 3 daggers at you.
Okay.
Okay, so we're at short distance. We're gonna do one of
3
those.
daggers.
And since he's throwing 2 at once, he's got the paired thing going here. And the dog is going nuts, so she's obviously on your side. Damn. So as you look up and these 2 daggers come flying at and 5, 6, 7, 8 points for the first dagger. Oh, accurate. Yeah, I got the accurate one in there. And then 8 points for the second dagger.
That doesn't feel great.
As both these daggers come flying at you in a short range. And Eric's going to be right back. And he's going to take that advantage to get some strain back. Okay, now are you going to retreat or are you gonna push the fight? You do totally get the feeling that retreating could be possible because you aren't a horse after all.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna kick it on the horse and zip through to get out of range of his ability to throw daggers.
His house of ugly daggers. Do me a
Yeah.
favor and give me a ride check.
Oh, great.
You can totally spend a story point, man. Okay, I've got your upgrade in there. I have faith in you now.
Much
He
help
who-
that's gonna be.
He who rides alone hopefully does not
Again,
get very
the first
far.
person to roll a riding check is the one who will fail it.
That is the most foul purple dice I've seen roll in a long time.
It's
Okay,
the
and
third time I've gotten that result out of 2 purple dice tonight.
you do this hiya thing to spike the horse into getting you the hell out of there, and the horse just looks like you crazy. There's somebody in the tree, man, and the horse is just not cooperating.
Remind me to never bring this horse to Vietnam.
You could totally bail on the horse if you want.
I mean, yeah, I will. I'm getting the hell out of there. I hate any more hits like that.
Okay, so how are you going to escape the situation before we wrap up for the night? What skill are you going to use to escape?
I mean, I'm just gonna hop off the horse and run.
So athletics, you're gonna power it through it. I mean, on the plus side, once you hit the ground, you do have the speed advantage.
I mean, unless it's a cunning skill, I'm just gonna go ahead and die.
Okay,
is my
so
answer.
what skill are you gonna use? Like direction while you
Horse.
totally use it to. What I'm looking for is what skill you're gonna roll to get 3 purple to escape unscathed. Okay, so you're sending the horse off one direction, going off and give me. You didn't
Cool.
fail. So you do this whole the horse doesn't want to work and you're just like screw you horse then die and kind of slide off the saddle and start running out of this grove, imagining almost hear daggers flying into trees around you. It's probably just the trees just whooshing over your head, but it feels like daggers flying through the air. Run out of the grove just as your compatriots come running up to you. You know, obviously they're glad that you ran out to meet them rather than having them go into the scary almond grove to find you. with tears bleeding out of your arms.
Three daggers.
It's
Some G-
How many of your daggers did you leave in the wagon?
I don't.
See, back together, the edge of the horse is somewhere in the grove. Little son of a bitch that it is.
Stupid son of a bitch that it is.
Hey, I mean, on the plus side, these stubborn horses were good for thief and cat person alike. They're very conveniently is Bob with an empty horse.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I can do a horse with 2 daggers stuck into my shoulders.
But you're not taken out completely. That's what a cat person can do with claws. And you wonder what
Helpful.
you guys are deciding to go over or not.
How many points? I'm gonna write it down.
You have 5 points. And that's generous, mainly because Cork took some daggers to the arms.
Ow.
And
Hey,
on the
we
plus
made
side,
lots of we rolled lots of rolls today. We didn't make any of them.
Well, no, we got a couple triumphs,
Oh, okay.
but on
We
stuff
got,
that
like, 2,
weren't
yeah.
as critical.
I mean, hey, if we were playing any of the Powered by Apocalypse games, you get experience by failing rolls. Just saying. But not in Genesis. So you guys basically are outside the grove, facing the ominous almond grove, with the horse that just whinnies inside it, just mocking Korik. Son bitch. And what are you guys gonna go in back after the horse?
Let's see.
Yeah,
We got
we're gonna go back after the horse and the thief, but we need to get Korik healed first.
we
Okay.
got a total of 5 triumphs and 3 despairs, and then James rolled 4 triumphs tonight. I rolled a despair and no triumphs. It's been
I
a good
rolled-
night for my character.
2 triumphs, didn't I?
You've rolled 3, and Bob has rolled. Or no, yeah, you did roll 2, and
I
Bob rolled
only
2, and
two,
Index rolled 1.
Poor Korik has been triumph impaired.
I
Yep.
know.
Okay,
hurts
so
physically.
thankfully,
Does.
Twila's going to use her magic to heal you up,
I will.
but that'll be next time.
All right, I'm gonna log out, guys, and
Likewise. All right.
good night, all.
Have a good
Good
night,
night.
guys,
Have a good night, everyone.
Night.
and see you same time next week.
2 weeks in a row. You think it's actually going to happen?
Yes,
Oh,
No.
sorry.
we're back on track. Don't
That was-
jinx it.
I'm a little bit bitter. That's all. Sorry, that
You-
wasn't aimed at anybody in particular.
You're gonna jinx it, man. All right, have a good night, guys.
Bye bye.